Hello, my name's Jay Essex. I go into people's heads, crank them up, make them a lot stronger as far as their metaphysical abilities. They're not gifts, they're abilities. All of you had them when you were created, when you first came out. I live on what people call the other side. It's multidimensional. I just see what's out there, understand what's out there, how it got to be there. I'm very different. I'm not status quo by any means. Besides, when people say normal, what does that mean? That's what someone else wants you to be, and there's usually a reason why they want you to be that way. Just be yourself, because you have no idea how awesome that actually is. But I go in your heads and I actually crank you up. You can, those that are awake can actually feel me go inside your brain. I go into the different brain centers, the hypothalamus, pituitary, pineal, and I help expand your mind. I actually change your organs. My skull has actually grown 2.5 inches in height and 3.5 inches in girth in less than 2 years' time, just as I get ready to do what I'm here to do. A lot of you know me in the southeast U.S. I've gone to a lot of people out of the country. I can go to you, it doesn't matter where you are. All I have to do is think of you and I'm right there. So anyway, I don't know exactly. There's so much to say. I don't know where to start. You all have all kinds of abilities that are being kept quiet, kept low. Your religions take care of that. Your governments take care of that. There's things that actually run this planet. They know about me. They don't care. They can't do anything about what's going to happen. I've talked with a few of them. It doesn't matter. All this is about you, not me. I'm just your tool. Okay, I'm here to actually make you a lot stronger, help you see. I've got a list of people that can talk to you and tell you what I did for them. So anyway, all I'm doing right now is just reaching out to you and give you a chance to access what I can do to you. Again, the name is Jay Essex, E-S-S-E-X. Phone number 770-885-5619. Email is unclejay2010@live.com. You can also go to essenite.com, ESSENITE.com. There's also intuitiveawarenessgroup.com. Those are the people I've gone into, cranked up and made a lot stronger. All these are only front page websites. When the money's available, I'll do more with them. If you really want to come awake, if you're a reader, if you're just a waitress, a mechanic, it doesn't matter. Everyone has this in them. I can go in your head and crank you up. So all I'm saying is, do you want it or not? I'll give you references if you want to talk to the people. It's good stuff. You're so much more than you think you are. You're so much more than you're allowed to know you are. It's time to wake up. Call me. Hey folks, Jay Essex again. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what's going on right now. Everyone's looking for some way to make sense of things. If you really know what's going on the other side, and then you also know what's going on here, to some extent at least, you can start to understand why things are happening over here in your life. Why is it that the religions leave you empty? Why is it that the vast majority of the New Age spirituality isn't really making much sense except for a few items here and there? When you have a grasp of what's actually happening, everything just kind of fits in place. It's really important for you to understand who you are, why you're here, choices that you've made on the other side, as well as the relative consequences of choices you make here, and things being done to you that are totally out of your control. This takes a long time to elaborate on. It's one of those things that can't be done in a quick infomercial or whatever you want to call this. I don't know how to do professional stuff like this. I am what I am. I do what I do because of what I am, and that's why I'm here one last time. things are changing on the other side rapidly in a way that really behooves everybody and everything here. I try to help everyone I can and everything I can. It's not just about the people, folks. It's about everything. And I talk with all forms of energy. They talk with me. I really want y'all to understand what's going on. If you know some of the simplest, basic facts, you can deal with every day as it comes because you understand why things are happening. The law of attraction says you need to want something right and you get it. Wrong. Religions say there's an all-loving, perfect, all-forgiving God that literally condemns some souls to torture for eternity. All the religions have problems. Islam, Hebrew, all of them. There's little hidden truths, but they're all wrong. They're all based on controlling you. They were all written by the Anunnaki that are earthbound here, and they will be leaving. They don't have a choice in the matter, and they're well aware of it. They have scanners where they can see the future. They can manipulate the future to a degree of minutes, and that's about it. But we have friends in space that are literally our friends, our family. They are not a problem, what's in space. The problem is what's here on this planet. There's also a war going out in space. There's websites where there's something command and all this other stuff. Folks, don't put any credence, whatever, credibility in any of that. Learn how to go inside yourself. Find your true self. Feel what's around you. I can help you do a lot of stuff. I really can. I can't do everything. I'm in a body too. I'm aware so much and I want to do so much more than what I can, and I have to wait like everyone else. It's really frustrating. But it is what it is, and I deal with it daily. I know you all do too, but it's time you knew what was going on. So please keep an eye on Essex.com, spiritualsymposiums.com. And it's time for everyone to understand who you are, where you came from, what you're doing here, what's actually happening, so you can look at each day with reason, not false hope. If some philosophy teaches you can have what you want and then you're just not asking it right, you're going to keep spending money and you're never going to get what you want. You're going to lose your butt. Except for those people that have attached real closely to the law of attraction. Those people that are closest to the top, it's like a pyramid thing. Everyone's desperate to, try and get by in these days. They can feel the frustration. Very strong spiritual travelers that are here. They're literally having fits and not even knowing why, because they're 2 years, 3 years late going to work. I've talked with people that were wanting to commit suicide. I've talked with everybody, clergy. That's what I'm here for. I'm not telling you what you need to do. I'm telling you how to make your life better. I'm here to let you know what's going on. I'm here to teach you about what's real. And then if you don't agree, that's fine. I love you anyway. Hell, it ain't about me. But do me a favor, start listening to some of the stuff that I start posting. It's time for me to start going out and doing some lectures. I'm going the internet TV or whatever you call that soon. It's just time for me to get the information out. But when you know what's on the other side, when you know what's happened, when you know why your lives are so miserable and rich people get richer and they keep abusing you, if you understand why that's set up like that, and why it is being brought down, then you have more hope to get through the day. Then you have a reason to get up in the morning. Okay? Like I said, people, it ain't about me. I am what I am. That'll never change. I don't want it to. I just want to do my job and get out of this body. But I got stuff for you. I really want you to listen to it. I'm not telling you to quit your religions and stuff, but I'll tell you what. take your books that you have regarding those religions and set them down for a minute and just listen to the video. See what you think. I'm going to start posting some more information about a lot of things that are here, different types of spirit, and spirit is literally energy that's sentient, like the first being. So I'll start putting out a series plus something about meditation. I'm going as quick as I can. I don't know how to do half this stuff. I'm just shooting it wild. That's why I have to use very inexpensive equipment. But I do have some good people doing what they can to help, and it's time for things to move along faster. So I want you to consider taking the time to listen to some of my words and let them sit and just see what you think. Feel free to say whatever you want. But everybody I'm talking with, we connect. There's a reason for it. Okay? I love you all, man. Take care and have a good one. Hey folks, how you doing? Jay Essex here, and this is for the FBI. Today's April 11th. Yesterday, I was talking with a friend of mine inside a Starbucks cafeteria, and we were there just a few minutes. She waited till I got set up, and then a lady came in. She was from your group, the FBI. She sat down, laid out a couple of napkins very indiscreetly. She was looking at me so hard in her head, I felt like turning around and saying, you know, you're being rude. Y'all have tracked me before in GBI. You've followed me through Costco, two of you. And the one boss dude, the guy with the balding head, you kept saying in your head, line of sight, can't get line of sight. You were freaking out, about ready to pee in your pants before you left. Would y'all quit playing games? Would you please just come out directly and say, hello, how you doing? You know, you came to the house once, that was about something else. That was entirely different. You're still trying to figure me out. Why don't you let me solve a couple cases for you, help open up your heads. Some of you folks in there, you have people working for you that have some very strong abilities. I can make them stronger, but they will be the ones that I pick. Give me the list that you want, the list of people you have working for you that you want cranked up. I'll crank them up, no cost, because these people are going to help. But when are you people going to open up your minds? Would you quit follow? I mean, you can follow me, but would you quit doing that and just come out and say hello? Sit down, buy me a cup of coffee. I'll make it worth your while. Okay? Damn, what is it with you people? I love you all, man. I'm trying to help. I really am. You frustrate the hell out of me. I love you, though. Hey, folks. How you doing? Jay Essex again. Every once in a while, I hear from someone who says, if you are what you say you are, you wouldn't charge. Yeah, how do I eat? Lots of times I might talk with someone and they say, if I have no money and only one sandwich, I'm going to give that sandwich away. And I say, you know what? I got a better idea. Why don't you split that sandwich in half with this person you're trying to help? Because he might not only be hungry for food, but he might want some company too. He might be hungry for compassion. We have to maintain ourselves. Sometimes people give me a hard time and they get all frustrated and excited in their emails about, you know, me wanting to charge for what I do. I can do what no one else can, and I charge nothing compared to what they do. Some people pay $1,200 and $1,500 an hour to get a reading, when I can actually take your physical body and your mind, your energy, and do with it nothing else that I can do. I can increase it, enhance it like nothing else anywhere can. It's not yay me, it's like I deserve to eat. I'm putting together stuff. I'm helping open awareness. We help animals and stuff all over the place. I have animals all over the place. My house is in foreclosure, okay? So I'm not worried about it, but most people would be. So it's not just for me that I'm talking about right now, it's for everyone else.
when you do a reading for someone, they should show appreciation. And when you're first starting, it's nice just to get thanks and to learn more. And when you're really confident about it, they should say thank you with a couple of bucks, because it costs you money to get there. That's just the way it is. What I find out 99% of it, 99.9% of the time, 99.1% of the time, whatever, when people get like that, it's because, well, they're very selfish. You know, as two people I've talked to about this, had to talk to about this in emails, and I asked both of them, I said, I guess you'd be happy then if I did this and never got any money and starved to death. And then I couldn't help anyone else again, but that'd be okay, because as long as I helped you, that's all that matters. That's someone who puts themselves before everyone else. So this isn't, like I said, just about me. It's about y'all. As you start becoming relaxed and flowing with this, becoming awake and aware, you can do it for each other and enjoy each other's company, do it for free. But when you're doing it for people as a service, they should say thank you, one way or the other. And I don't, you know, some people can't afford it. That's fine. I've cranked up well over 800 people, actually over 900 people, and never asked a penny. And then I got into my current financial crisis, and I found out I had to. So anyway, things are moving along on the other side for a happy note. As you start waking up, remember, you have abilities, not gifts. But when you use your ability for someone else to help them, that is a gift. And if people don't appreciate it, turn it off for them, because they don't deserve it. Some people out there just bug you 24/7, you know, and just keep bugging you. Oh, by the way, when you're starting to read, when someone's 27% negative or more, they can become a problem to read. I'll be talking more about that later. Okay, love you all. Have a good one. Don't be afraid to charge. Hey folks, how we doing? There's enough people, like more than half, most of you, that I talk to when I'm giving consultations, doing energy enhancement work, and everything else. But when I'm talking with you, many of you, most of you, really feel like, Jay, I don't know, there's something I'm supposed to be doing. I can't understand it, but there's something I'm supposed to be doing and I'm not doing it. And I'll say, yeah, like you're late and it should have happened. And go, yeah. And then I can look at the person, I'll tell them how many years ago that started happening, and they say yes. I want to go ahead and explain that real quick right now. When things changed on the other side, the second dimension, heaven, whatever you want to call it, and the original mother and father were taken out, they were the ones running stuff. They were very abusive. They were incredibly problematic. They were making sure that the 2012 spiritual freedom event never happened, even though it was their design to start with. So because of that fight that went on for, I guess, 5 years or something, it started putting everything back. And those of you that could feel the energy in the field and feel the movement of events, they go up, down, up, down, up, down. 2011 was nutty like that in the beginning. 2012, same thing. The new energy is getting ready to learn how to run things. Things are getting ready to happen with the new energies taking over the new source energy. It's not 27.5% negative like the first ones were. It's less than 2%. However, it's very new at this. So when you feel like you're anxious, something's wrong and everything, please understand there's nothing wrong with you whatsoever. It's just that you're here for a specific job. Your spirit knows it, and your body, your conscious mind isn't quite aware of it, yet it kind of is, but it's bugging the heck out of you. Please try to relax. Know that it's okay, and that when you question why you're here, 99 out of 100 times it's because you're here to do a big job, to help people wake up, to help teach the people how to wake up once you do it yourself. And sorry it's been taking so long for things to happen on the other side, but it is being done. And we're starting to get close. So there's nothing wrong with you. I understand the anxiety. Try to understand what it is and let it float through you. Just keep yourself grounded. Go walk out. Go walk. Take off your shoes. Walk outside and put your feet on the ground and just sit there. Relax. You can always, meditate, or what I call relaxed breathing, and just let your energy flow out everywhere. Feel and come back. You'll know that there's a new feeling that things are getting close to happening. So hang in there. Love y'all. It's all good. And things are going to change. They're going to happen, and you're here for a job. It's very important. And one of these days, I might even tell you about it. If I talk to you, I'll be happy to. That's Essex 770-885-5619 or JAYESSEX.com. You can go to JEssex.com, and it's all in there. Love y'all, man. Have a good one. Hang in there. Okay, this isn't for public use, so it's just for y'all. And then I can show it to Michelle.
You want to put it on YouTube? I don't care.
Oh, okay. All right, that'd be interesting.
That'd freak a lot of people out.
Yeah. All right, well, in that case, this is Kit, I'm Jay, and we have Mary over here. Mary's very much Fae, so she's literally climbing all the trees and jumping around the water, and I think she's going fairy here in a minute. Anyway, we're having a lot of fun. They came up from down to Atlanta from
Waco, Texas.
Is it Waco, Texas?
Waco, Texas.
Yeah, Waco. That's neat. So we can have some fun.
Jay helped my stepson. He was in the hospital, had a very bad injury. He fell about 50 to 60 feet to concrete on his face and broke almost every bone in his body except for his neck and his back. And he's recovering very nicely now. So go ahead, Jay. I didn't mean to.
Oh, no. Thanks. So anyway, we're gonna go. Kit can feel energy in stones and stuff, and he's already very much awake, alive, seeing and feeling things. And Mary really feels a lot of stuff. She can feel energy, and she's aware of a lot more than she is. She's just very relaxed and grounding because she's had some really strong Fey energy in her. Okay, let's go ahead and just get going with the crank up.
Okay. Should I experience anything?
Yeah. As you feel anything, just let me know. Inside, or let the people back home know. This is fun. I'm always so serious in my videos. It's nice to do something where I can just kind of be like happy clown kind of guy.
Well, I am a clown.
Yeah, me too. This works good. Let's see. You might feel lightheadedness, pressure, heat. A couple of people threw up. No, I'm kidding.
Well, to say I was worried about doing that.
Yeah. But sometimes it does affect the solar plexus a bit.
But I'm handy.
Yeah.
I'll put some bait for the fish.
There you go.
That'll gross a few people out.
Yeah. That's all right. It's good for them. Okay, so here we go. Just relax. And right now I'm inside your brain stem, a little bit towards at the very top of the brain, at the spine where it goes into the brain, towards the top and the back, kind of near the energy field of the pituitary gland.
Feels cool.
Okay, good. Now I'm going to open that up a little bit, coming towards more on the inside of your head and filling your head.
Yes. I'm feeling. I feel a little pressure.
Yeah, I'm cranking it up just a little bit.
I hear the little voices that talk to my head are talking a little louder right now.
You can hear them better.
I can hear them better.
Or they're saying, "Run!"
I don't know. They're kind of going, "What the hell is
Yeah,
this?"
what the heck's going on? Yeah, they know me. But you have Faye running around there. You have 4 spirit guides, 5 spirit guides with you right now, and 2, one male and female are Faye, and then another male and female are human, and then the other one, so it's Faye and human, it's Feynman.
It's getting warm.
That's a good balance. Yeah, it's just building up more energy. I know this is going to go right down through your body, through your core energy stream.
Wow. My heartbeat just picked up.
Yeah, it's going all the way down. It's moving all through your core energy, your EME stream, your body spirit stream, your Kundalini, the name of whatever name we want to use. It's being powered up right now, big time.
And I'm starting to sweat.
Yeah, I'm putting my energy in there, and that stays with you until you're until you're done with the body, and then a little bit of that stays in you and enhances the spirit that you are inside. But most all of it just comes back to me.
Oh, that's a weird feeling. I feel pressure around both sides of my temples.
Yeah, it's okay. Let's see now. Between the second and third vertebrae up from the base of your spine, where the spine attaches, there's a little issue over there. I'm building up a little pressure there, a little heat, a little warmth.
Oh, I feel that.
Moving something.
I don't know if you can move that or not.
Yeah, it's like moving it a little bit, but it's more energetically. I can't physically, bend crack the back, so to speak.
Right.
Chiropractors always get mad at me when I say I want my back cracked. They go, "No, don't say that." Okay.
I'm feeling tingling sensation around my lower part of my crown, around my forehead right now.
Okay. Now there's a lower crown and then an upper crown. The lower crown is like a focal point. It's like a lens where you can feel stuff. It's a lens where you see stuff and the energy goes through it. This is what I'm doing right here. Just having some fun in my hands, but it's softly touching that lens, and then putting quartz in it and rhodochrosite too. Very good stones with you, and rhodonite. That's another one that
feels like a massage.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is.
That is so freaking strange.
When I do it with my hands, it just kind of like softens the energy flow as it goes through.
I'm watching your hands out of the corner of my eye, and it feels exactly doing exactly what you're doing.
And a lot of people will say, "Well, that's a psychosomatic whatever." No, it's actually what's going on, how it feels. As a matter of fact, all right, now this is your crown. I won't use this. Use my hands. I don't need to, but it'll have the same purpose. This is your crown, the upper crown.
Okay. Ooh, right at the top of my head.
Yep. Now, how does it feel? And then I'll tell you what I actually did. What I'm doing.
It kind of feels like something bubbled off.
Yeah, I opened it up. It's between 2 and 3. It's about almost 2.5. And now it's a little bit past 2.5 times the size of what it was when you first sat down. So that's why I was feeling bubbling, because it was expanding. It was going like this and just opening up, and now it's bigger, so you can get more in and out.
If I didn't know better, I'd say there was a Coca-Cola in my head right now.
Yes. Actually, you have spikes of quartz coming out that's literally lined with the energy that's of selenite.
If I didn't know better, I'd say the sweat that's coming out of my head right now is a product by that.
Yeah. Well, right now my As soon as I started working, cranking up, I started sweating a bit too. Part of it's being the coffee, and it is a little humid in Atlanta, but you know what? Not like this.
This is weird. My head's shaking.
Yeah.
You may be able to see me. I'm feeling this right in the middle. You're
Yeah,
messing with you're messing with my pineal ground, ain't you?
As soon as you said middle, I went into your crown, into below the crown, and I took the energy that's very similar to amethyst, and I went wham, and I sent like a huge flame out through the top of your head, and that's when you stammered like that.
Oh, the sweat just started flowing.
Yeah, but see the actual physical location in the brain where that comes from is where the pineal, hypothalamus, pituitary, and everything else is, and it goes forward just a little bit and then goes straight up through the crown. Because all the different brain parts have energy fields somewhere, usually almost always somewhere other than where they're physically located, because everything is located together.
Now I'm feeling right in here.
Okay. Now we're going to work on the scanner, folks. This is something that people I cranked up, I explained to them. There's your strongest sensory perception device is located right here. If you go where the forehead, where the pituitary gland is, and the top of the head where the crown is, right about in the middle, right where the forehead turns in the top, you'll feel a little bit of a lump. That's your scanner. Abbreviation for it, LRESPEF, Long Range ESP Energy Field.
It's vibrating like hell.
Yeah, I'm pouring the hell out of that thing right now.
It's like it feels like you're pouring something into it.
That is the strongest sensory perception device we have. As long as you're within the field, which is bigger than the universe now, literally you can see almost all the way through the universe. You can sense stuff, perceive stuff, almost all the way through the universe, and you can go multidimensional.
I can't stop my head from shaking. Mary.
Yeah.
Mary. Make sure, is my head shaking? It just
feels
feels like
it.
it.
Like it.
Feels like it.
Yeah. When you look at the video later, if it's blurry, it was shaking. When you feel it inside and it's that strong, it's just that strong.
It feels like a pile driver.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I'm sorry, I'm a little vocal.
Hey, no, that's good. What the hell? Oh, sure, right. That's a good one with y'all. Your brain loves that energy. I'm going to put it in the
you
whole
just
thing.
lowered down, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. But I also changed the energy to sure right, which is now very softly flowing all through your head, nice and easy. So that's kind of like
that's a rush.
It's cooling. It's exciting, moving.
It's like a slow wave.
Yeah, it's relaxing, but it's awakening. Okay, here's the energy of sodalite when it's in your
It
head.
tickles.
Yeah. There's sodalite. You'll notice that a little more in the pineal. And then also, here's the pineal. And then this is this is what source energy lapis lazuli feels like. I'm putting that in your pineal gland right now, spreading that energy field throughout it, and now I'm pushing it out.
Oh, that's interesting.
And now I'm pushing it out into the energy field for the pineal behind the forehead.
Okay, I'm also feeling a pressure in my upper neck on the left side.
Yeah. That's if you go inside there a little bit towards the front. Actually, that's where most of these glands are.
Okay.
You just got to
right
go
behind the ear type.
Well, it's a little bit forward, but because I'm putting so much pressure on it, you're feeling the ear's very sensitive, so that's where you're feeling it.
Okay.
That's that your pineal's a lot bigger, a lot stronger right now. You'll be seeing more.
My I got a vibration in my right ear.
All right, now we're going back to the pituitary. All right, now this is DNA related. It's actually changing your DNA. When I see it, I see strands growing, whether they actually are, whether it's just modifying what's there. It's almost impossible for me to say just modifying what's there, because it's not just modifying, it's actually physically changing it. to be much stronger and have more strands. But although I see strands in numbers, what's really going on when I look more clearly, it's like strands start outer strands growing to actually become something. I don't know. One of these days we'll get this on a electron microscope so I can actually see what's happening. It's like sometimes we get a message that comes across as picture, and the picture isn't an exact thing. It's very close, and it's hard for me to say this. So apparently there's a lot to it, a lot more to it than what I'm saying, but that's okay. I'd rather be conservative.
Right now, I feel like there's a wire going from the
Top of it down
the middle of the back of my neck
the.
all the way to my crown. It's really strange. It feels like it doesn't hurt. It just feels like there's something stuck in there.
Yeah. I go right into the main body, the core, and then I just come outwards everywhere. And then while the energy's out there, it's literally modifying your DNA.
It's going. It feels like it's going. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
it's waves of energy going through it. Just kind of, it's waves. I don't know how to describe it.
Oh, something's
It's
trying to
pulsing
talk
waves.
to me.
Yeah, if this, you got one of your buddies in there. He's got a lot of Fey energy. He is Fey. He's trying to say something, and every time he does, he's trying to tell you something that's happening. But every time he goes to talk, those waves in there are hitting him. He goes, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, because I'm hearing it go beep.
Yeah. He's wanting to talk something. It's like someone trying to talk run one of those rides that go around circles, and they go, wow.
It's exactly what it feels, and it feels like that. If I can almost feel like I'm getting dizzy, but I'm not physically moving.
Yeah, but yeah.
That is really a strange feeling.
Okay.
Oh, my head's starting to shake again.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do a quick finish to it.
I felt that.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, pressure's gone.
Yeah. All right, now, what I'm going to do is the way the brain operates, where you pick off where your real strong abilities come from when it's time, which is the real strong telepathy, telekinesis, and stuff like that. This is how it's going to feel if it does get to happen while you're in this body. I'm not saying it's going to, but this is how it feels. It's important for you to know this. And if you feel something starting at this one point and then moving forward, you know your body's moving towards that.
Okay.
All right, here's the part of your brain where that happens. That's a direct beam of energy right into that part of your brain. Can you feel something in your head?
Oh, yeah, but it's not powerful.
Yeah, no,
It's real subtle.
Yeah. And then
It's like a calming.
And then from that point where that's located, that feeling and where it's located, then when it fires up a little harder, I mean, the next stage of the energy transfer goes to this part of the brain.
Oh, wow.
And then it goes here.
That's a little more pressure.
Yeah. And then it goes here.
I felt that before.
And then here it goes to the rest of the brain.
Oh, wow.
And then it flies right out of your head, mostly around the crown. And then so that's the whole process of how those higher functions happen.
That was interesting.
And that, whoa, as soon as I quit jerking, that completes our fun. I'm sweating too. Part of it is the humidity, but when you're working with energy like that, it's got heat.
Right before we started, it was cool. And
Yeah.
as soon as you started, my head cooled off.
Yeah.
And
And then wham.
Don't look at me like that. I didn't shoot your mama.
Okay, Mary, it's your turn. Come on, honey.
Oh, no, baby.
No? Okay. Just wanted to offer. Well, folks, that concludes this episode of... Go ahead and try this at home. It's okay. And remember, no matter where you are, it doesn't matter. You know, energy goes through the field everywhere, and I'm part of that. The energy that I'm part of is also the field is part of it. So I'm already there anyway. It's all now. It feels cool
I got an interesting feeling right about here.
in your head.
It's in the lower, right.
Yeah, it's between 1, 2, and barely touching towards 3 vertebrae of the atlas.
Yeah,
It's just right there. It's almost like a little bit of a knot.
that's exactly what it feels
It's like from sleeping or something, and all that energy is pushing through it. So it's kind of like,
That's-
excuse me, folks. This is not a commercial for Starbucks, but you know what? Coffee is good for you. Okay, if your body doesn't like it, then it's not good for you. But don't be afraid to drink coffee. Okay, for Pete's sake, whatever you like to do, if you're not hurting yourself and you're not hurting anyone else, enjoy it. Okay, I know sometimes usually you see me so serious about stuff. I am. I'm not normal. I'm here for a reason. But it's not like I'm always depressed and everything. It's just I do a lot of fighting on the other side. I'm actually more than what I ever say I am. That does not relate to the word bitter whatsoever. I'm better than nothing. It's just that I'm really strong and I'm here for a reason. So anyway,
you want to tell me about my attack?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's we all get. As a matter of fact, we got to cut it a little bit short
Okay.
because I can only go so far, and then I don't know how to put it on the internet. Yes, if there's any 10-year-old kids out there that can help me with this stuff, I'd appreciate it. Because this old man is not that computer savvy. Anyway, we love you all, man. You take care when you see you a little bit, okay? Goodbye.
Bye.
Hey there, folks. It's April 5th, 8 something, up 7:57. And PM. And this is something that's been overdue for a long time. I'm doing a lot of different things, as many of you know. And my conscious mind doesn't work that great with computers and stuff. A lot of us don't, but, you know, I'm just not too with it when it comes to that. My mind can't think like that anymore. I used to get some very seriously good grades when I was in school. I just, you know, I'm doing other things with my brain. I had to put down some things on paper. You all know I don't do anything like practice for recordings or anything, but this happened a long time ago. I told you I'd tell you about it. And, well, it's time I did. It was a long time ago earlier this year, the January the 24th, and it was about 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I was in the middle of a consult with a gentleman, and, you know, we went overtime. I always like to. And all of a sudden, I got a flash, you know, just right in front of me. There's an emergency. I knew it, didn't know what was going on. So I had to hurry and get off the phone, off Skype. And then I just turned everything off, relaxed, and just put myself out. What I am inside Ara, what I'm attached to, what became part of, he's the field. He's a lot of things. He's all over the place. So I just had to concentrate on what was going on. It's like I took a one step back, and then in time or something, and then all of a sudden I saw one of our family members. He's the number 4 officer, whatever, commander in this Federation fleet that actually protects our planet as well as many others. And they're not losing the war, but there's a lot of issues out there, and they're going to be handled soon.
But anyway, I saw his ship. They were just relaxing, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, using some kind of incredible stealth technology, here comes this really fast ship. It was like a very, very deep, dark blue color. The way this thing was built, it could go through atmosphere like it's nothing, but this thing was made for speed. It just all of a sudden poof came out of nowhere and just blew, just about totally blew up this ship that this commander is on. This family member, he's Serpoian, what you call gray. Blew a huge hole in it. Did like hit it 4 or 5 times, bam, 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 and it did more than just disable it. And then I just instinctively reached out with energy and put my hands around it, and I was like, what do I do with this thing? And then what's in me just took over. Because remember, I was absorbed by Aura. Okay, I'm part of them. I can do things to my conscious mind. When I go into people crank up their brains. When I go in when we have an intensive consult, I go in your brain. As you all know, your brain grows. Your brain cells grow in number. They grow in size. The power of your synapses grows. This is all physical fact. Okay, whether anybody out there wants to believe it or not, that's cool. Love you. It doesn't matter. What matters is that what needs to happen is happening. And y'all are just growing, getting stronger. When I go into you and I work on you, I feel the energy in my hands. It's just, the more energy you put in my hands, whether you can feel it or not, I know how much I'm putting in you. I can also see it, read it. I put it in you. I make that conscious affirmation to make it happen. And then the next day, that's why I tell everyone, please don't go around, going on drugs and, staying on there and stuff, I understand we need to let loose for a while. I like to have a little wine every once in a while, but you know what? Keep it to a minimum, okay? You need your conscious mind. So anyway, so I started putting pressure on it, and I was trying to figure out what to do, and then all of a sudden, my hands went cold. All my energy was just drained. It was like sucked out, and then it's like I went somewhere. The next thing I know, I saw this ship implode on itself until it was... This is a huge ship, folks. It had about 138 beings on it. It was such a small size of particulate matter. You could put about 500 of them in a marble. Okay? I mean, it was stupid. It was so crazy. And it was what happened was the whole ship was condensed to heavy matter. There's 138 crewmen on board the ship. They were young kids. I don't know if they're like. I'm trying to go back and look at it. And I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time. I never write any of this stuff down. They were mostly like 287 to 350 years old. I'm seeing 187. There's some younger kids on there. But anyway, just say 187 to 350 years old, something like that. That's about the average age they were. They actually had some Drock DNA in them. Less than half of them was Drock DNA, and the other was this other type of reptilian. The race, they're very, very dark green on the outside, and then the inside is kind of like a manila-looking color. My friend Miguel and I, we call them Geicoians because they remind us a little bit of the Geicoian, the lizard on the Geico commercials. But because of the Drock in them, it was a real dark green instead of a lighter green on the scales in the back. Very fast, very intelligent, very aggressive, and they were trying to prove a point that they were whatever, so tough, and the bad dudes of the galaxy. And they did make a point by attacking this some kind of admiral, whatever. I really don't care about that stuff, but it was a flagship that he was on. So, needless to say, they're doing some updating on their sensor work. But anyway, and then after that happened, I saw that. I was kind of not freaking out, but I was like, okay, that was Ara. I was right there with him, but that was Ara that actually did that. And then I just put this field. See, I'm doing this stuff myself. However, it's Ara in me that's doing this. That's what I am inside. So it's put this huge sphere, gold with a yellow tint to it sphere. It was soft, clear energy with a hard barrier around the outside. I don't mean like nothing could go through it. I mean it was just a harder energy. Things could go right through it, no problem. And there's all these little like orbs glowing in and out of the middle of it, but they have a basic position. But they do move around within that position. That's the best I can describe it. And then the ones that got space and everything else, they were breathing. I don't know. It was good energy, healing energy. It maintained. All of a sudden, a ship came in. So anyway, it was a nice ship came in. They got some people together and they left. After that happened, what was it? Sunday, the January 25th. It was about 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All of a sudden, Herky started getting excited, and I was like, okay. And I could feel stuff moving around, astral projecting, but there was a lot of it and from different areas coming in. So I just calmed them down. I just looked, and then here they come. They didn't come right up to me. They were staying a little bit away. They came, I don't know, whatever. You know, there's no distance when you're second dimension, but they were close enough. It was easy for me to see them and to reach out to them. And there's the biggest guy I saw was from about the Arkansas area, Arkansas, Alabama, around there. He's huge. And now these are the actual reptiles, okay? These are the actual Anunnaki. They're humanoid reptilians. So there were the 7 clans were there, and then there was on the left-hand side there was 6. They were lined up, perfect line. There was 6 different groups. They're the workers. They're the ones that are prisoners here on the planet, and they're the ones that we're trying to get free. But anyway, and they will be soon. But anyway, so all of a sudden, I've got these 7 different clans, and there's a few people in each clan talking to me at one time. I don't mean one like that. It's all one picture, and they're all coming at me one time. About 4 days, I'm sorry, earlier to this, I had started seeing like 3 different events at one time. It started with 2 and then 3 events at one time, and I was literally seeing, understanding, and even communicating with one of the events while I was seeing everything at the same time. The physical mind can't do that, but, you know, as energy era can. This brain's been highly modified. I'm surprised it's still together. Anyway, so I was talking to him, and the first thing that happened is this one guy from the Arizona clan was offering me a 7th of the planet. Get a load of that. That stupid idiot. I love all of you. I love everything. But I'll tell you what, this planet belongs to herself. And that really peed me off. Okay? And then the next thing you know, Herky started getting a little nervous again, so I'm trying to calm him down. One of the worker groups from the second pile, the second section the second group was trying to say something, but he was talking with the other groups. They were communicating together. And then there was some other stuff going on with the Arizona group, and this guy from over here closer to us, around the Mississippi area, he started firing up some energy, and I started firing up some energy, and the next thing you know, it started turning in. There was energy flowing around, and the guy from Arkansas or whatever, he said, "I'll kill you," like that, and I just went nuts. Herky just jumped up and ran, but that's why I went nuts. And then slapped him down. Then I went to Arizona because they seemed to be the blunt of it. And the next thing I know, took out 14 of them. Their heads, boom, pop. That's it, and others were wounded. There's about 50 of them there that had issues in their head, but 14 of them died. And then with the other clans, there were another 7 that died that night, and then the next morning there was 2 more that died overnight. So anyway, and then of course everyone started fading away. When I'm going into people and you know, cranking you up and increasing your brain and everything, I'm thinking, I don't answer questions about, you know, what was I in a different life or anything, and I tell you that point blank. If you ask me a second time, I'll tell you louder. Okay, you're going to get the point. I'm going to do my job. I'm going to crank you up. I don't have to talk to you to do it, okay? And I can do a lot more than one person at a time. But the thing is, I need to be thinking about what I'm doing. I've had other stuff come in. While I'm cranking someone up, I can hold them, deal with them, do whatever I want, and still crank on you, but I don't want to have to deal with that. When I'm in someone's brain, I want to be left alone and deal with the brain. So anyway, when something like that happens, Zara comes through me. He is the protector. Again, I'm just part of him. That hard flash was hard. There was a lot of damage done. I didn't know what's going on, but I didn't really care because they're imprisoning people. They're responsible for well over 1,000 deaths a day in wars. Whatever. I'm sure it's not every day, but they have no problem killing 1,000 a day out in Africa, all other places around the world. There's all kinds of stuff going on, and there's a lot more stuff going on we won't talk about tonight. The bodies that are grown. It's almost like hydroponic body growing. It's cloning, where the bodies are grown for food. Those big black containers that you see on the side of the road, well, guess what? You can fit 4 to 6 bodies in there. And then they ship them off. They never have any energy in them. They just grow a physical body. And then plus, some of the people that they actually take, they actually transport them. And they work on the other races. And scientists actually study their DNA under different circumstances, and they torture them. It's hell. Kind of like a lot of the sick people here do to animals. Anyway, so that was that. That was 2:30 Sunday, the January 25th, and then an hour later, 3:30 p.m. Some guy comes in from over here. He's 9-foot Anunnaki, purebred Anunnaki, very diplomatic and everything, and very well thought in his mind. And he came in. And then he's looking at me and he says, I guess he sees me. So I popped his pineal and said, hey, man, how's it going? So he didn't say anything. He kind of smiled a little bit. And remember, when he says smile, it's an energy transfer. It's a feeling. Okay, it's an understanding of the feelings involved. When I say someone's dancing on the other side, I'm feeling energy from them as if they were dancing. That's how a lot of communication goes on. So anyway, so you'll get a kick out of this. So anyway, so he said, okay, in his head, he goes, okay, he sees me. He started walking around the corner, and he actually went back in the kitchen. I thought that was hilarious. And I'm thinking in my head, dude, what do you want? You want me to make you a sandwich? You don't even have a body. I mean, it was the funniest thing in the world. So the guy comes back out. He comes around, and he just kind of looked at me a little funny. Then he nods his head, kind of like turns his head to the side a little bit like that. And all of a sudden, here comes the ambassador. The ambassador was shorter, heavier, and all you could feel when the guy came in was the energy of compassion. Huge, very deep, thick pink ore, and he came to me, and I felt him, and I, talked to him with quite a lot of respect. Oh, by the way, when they came in, I saw the ship first. This is the second time I've met with him. The first time was very brief, and it was from the ship, just talking. I saw this warship over the house, about 250 feet over the roof of this house. The walls were vibrating, the windows were shaking like to come out, and Herky came running in, jumped on top of the bed, and he looked at me and he goes, I got this, Dad. I got this, Daddy. And he goes, but what the hell's going on? That's talking with Herky. That's the energy that was going on in him, and energy talk back and forth. So anyway, I calmed him down, and we looked, and then we did talk, and that was a different time. That's not important. He was worried about me, something that happened to my brain, and he was worried that things were going to happen. He's known from the beginning. I was approached by the Anunnaki, 2009, when I started to come alive. They said, we see you, we found you, when are you going to come, help us, please. They're talking to Arrow, what's in me, about getting them free, and it's going to happen. You'll start to find out about that real hard early 2016. January, something's going to happen. February, it's going to come down harder. By April, it's going to be, the Anunnaki will be starting to run scattered. And I mean running. And it won't be to something, it'll be away from something. Anyway, so much for that. I try to tell them that things would be okay. I gave them a download real quick. It was kind of hard, but they have real strong heads. The Sepoians, the Greys, they have incredible abilities, but they're very sensitive. I cranked up a whole bunch of them that are prisoners, over 1,000. But because the heads are softer, I had to lay back the energy real quick when I went there. At first, it was like, whoa, too much, so I had to kick it back. But see, that helps them as prisoners to be able to, read, get into the other people's minds and stuff that are nearby. It makes them stronger. Anyway, so he, the ambassador, I try to tell him that, our inside is going to take care of this. It'll get handled properly. And that almost no one will die. I said, but no, I told him not to worry about it. He was worried that with the attack that the Ara put on that the other 7 clans, he was afraid that there would be some action taken against his people. Which, by the way, just recently, and I mean a few days ago, I knew about it. I don't know, about it 4 days in advance. I just saw it happening. Then actually a week, whatever. They started to. They wanted to do something to get these most of these other prisoners off planet, so they could have a wedge, a bargaining wedge. And all of a sudden they had problems with their individual transporters. By the way, right now they can't leave the planet, not with their individual transport. They have small devices where they just go in, it just beams them, to the moon. They can go a little further, but they can't get off planet now. And any ship that tries to get in here, it has to come into interdimensionally. And then re-go, and then come into this dimension, like underwater or something like that, hiding. As soon as they get up to the area, they can't get through that barrier, that interdimensional barrier. They try to go through it, they can't, because the arrow changed the energy to it. I watched them trying the ships. When they start approaching the barrier, the ships just power down. So anyway, so the ambassador was worried about that, and I told him not to worry about it. And I gave him a quick download about all the information, about all the things that have occurred, why my brain got hurt so bad years ago, and he knows because they actually scanned my brain. They were looking at it from the ship. Well, heck, like I said, it was about 250 feet in the air. It's less than 300 feet away. But I told him and I showed him through image what I've been doing, what Aaron's been doing, what I've been doing, because that's me. I'm sorry, folks, that's me, but I'm part of Aaron now. Anyway, destroying the original first being, male and female, taking out the other 2 sets of source family energy, the other pairs. They're clean but arrogant and wanting control. There's all kinds of crazy stuff going on. So I showed him everything, and then he seemed a little nervous. And then he calmed down a little bit, and then he really seemed to get sad, and then he got a little worried. And then I told him again, I said, look, please don't worry. I said, have a little faith that this will come out, good. I know it's hard to do, but you know what's in me. It's going to be okay. And almost none of your people are going to die. So he left, and then the 2 of them took off. They were back in the ship. The ambassador left first, and then his aide stayed there for a minute. He looked at me. He was throwing some feelings back and forth. And I said, watch this dude. So I went into him, and I cranked him up. I just lit his energy up straight like this, and he just was like, whoa. And I coated him with a silver energy. It keeps negativity comes to him, something that's in spirit. While he's astral projecting or whatever, anything comes up to him, tries to touch him, it doesn't just slide off. It melts and destroys what energy of the opposing energy actually touches him. So he's like a silver surfer. So anyway, they went back on the ship, and then they were getting ready to leave, and then another ship had already pulled up. It was a Serpoian ambassador. And they were talking back and forth. They get in these trip chairs, and they can really, the trip chair, when you sit back in it, it reads your DNA. It enhances your abilities. Once it reads your DNA and understands it can enhance your abilities in your brain. your ability to for telepathy, to astral project, and everything else, help you come out of the body, makes you stronger. And trip chairs, how they were made and what they're about, we'll talk about that some other time. But so they're sitting in the chairs and they're talking back and forth, and the Sapoian was kind of smiling. And, you know, they don't have a huge sense. They have a sense of humor, but they don't have the same kind of emotions we do. And part of it's due to the part that they have such a small heart. The physical size of the heart has a lot to do with the amount of ability you can express. The compassion and love that you can express through it doesn't mean it's not there, but it's compact. It doesn't flow the same way. These human bodies are different. Anyway, so this Sapoian was a friend of this other family member, and he was telling the ambassador, the Anunnaki ambassador, that look, you know, we have a lot of, you know, Sapoian prisoners there too. They're going to be fine. Just try not to worry about it. And then the ambassador took off, and he always comes with a fleet. When the actual home planet Anunnaki ambassador comes in, they come in power. They're ready for a war. Will they start one? No, not unless, you know, someone attacks them. And then I pity the fool. Is that how that goes? So anyway. That was Sunday. Though Monday, I walked downstairs. I was doing some stuff up here. It was early in the morning. I was getting ready to walk downstairs with Herky, go to get my coffee. And all of a sudden, something's coming to me. It's coming in. Herky could feel it too. And I'm like, oh, great. You know, come on, man. I got to have my coffee. My first 2 cups of coffee, 3 cups of coffee. And then I could see him. He's Anunnaki. He's in a body. He's projecting to me. And he just says, why did you let him leave? And I'm like, what the? And, you know, plus wake up in the morning, I have other energy, source energy, hanging around, trying to get in my head, all this other stuff. So that fogs me up. The fact I'm waking up in the morning, haven't had my coffee or my shower. So anyway, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on. By the time I got down the stairs and stopped for a second and looked at him, I said, oh, you're from the Resistance. And why are you talking about when I got into it with the the 7 Anunnaki clans? He goes, why did you let them leave? I said, you can't just kill all of them. It's not going to work like that. And I gave him a quick download and explained what had been going on, and tried to give him a basic idea. Look, you tell the other folks over there in San Francisco is basically the headquarters in this country for the Anunnaki Resistance. Okay, it's southern San Francisco. I'm not giving away anything that the people that are involved in this don't know. And we're getting close on time. Okay, good boy, Herky. So anyway, I love you, buddy. Good boy. We're going to have some fun in a minute. So anyway, I explained what's going on and told him it couldn't happen that way, and boom, he was done. So anyway, then it was shortly after that I started finding out this other information about the thing with the prisoners. I was approached by them, but I was in the middle of still fighting with other energy, source energy on the other side, part of our Malleus. And I explained to him that this other gentleman I was talking to over there, they said, look, we have prisoners. They don't want to hear what we're saying about the prisoners. They want the prisoners back, blah, blah, blah. And so I got the basic of it, and I said, okay, we'll deal with this in just a little bit. And they actually have force fields down there, way under the ground, San Francisco, but it's outside of San Francisco, south. So I beefed those up, and Ara changed something where when they go through, they have some serious issues. They got turned away real quick just from being hurt. So then that was that. But so the next thing they figured to do was take some of these folks off the planet, and I already explained how that was stopped. So there's stuff that's about to happen, and we'll find out about that soon. But anyway, I told you I'd give you that information a long time ago. I'm sorry it took so long. But at least you have that. I love y'all, man. See you soon. Come on, Herky. Come on, buddy. Let's go, buddy. Arr.